Hello, is the Sinister Gambino here with a new video. In this video I'm going to be going over Simeon's Premium Deluxe Repo Works that were added during the drip feed of the Arena War DLC. So on the screen right now is actually a bit of information about how it's more profitable to finish missions in 4 minutes rather than 15. That goes for all contact missions. All the money on there, by the way, as well, is on regular money, not double money. I did the maths and it definitely seems that it's all on regular money, so you can basically double all that, I'm pretty sure, when it's on double money. And for all the missions showcased, of course, for the payouts, I believe I did all of them on regular money as well. And for those who don't know how to make playlists, you have to play the jobs recently, and they'll be in recently played jobs. So that's a good way of making money, making contact mission playlists. For more information, refer to the dispatch episode. Going into the first mission of the Premium Deluxe Repo Works from Simeon, of course, from the Arena War DLC, we have Blow Up 4 here, which is the 4th iteration of the Blow Up missions in the game, which there was 2 to 3 with the launch of it. One might have been from a last generation DLC or something like that, so it's already been covered on the channel. But yeah. Before I go any further with this one, I might as well go over the typical RP reward and payout for all these. All the missions in the Repo Works, of course, pay out the same pretty much, so I might as well go over all of them at one time and then just basically talk about the missions, since it's not like a lot of the other ones in the series where they can be vastly different, depending on the rank requirements and stuff. But yeah, of course, it's a rank 1 mission, but technically they work rank 85 missions, as shown earlier, of course. All of these are 1 to 4 player missions. RP reward on hard, 16 plus minutes, is 4,810. Money reward is $23,100, 16 plus minutes on hard, with no other modifiers, I'm sure, as well, as shown off earlier as well. So that's basically all the mission statistics for all the Premium Deluxe Repo Works. But yeah, going into burn rate 4 here, I recommend you park a little bit away from the garage. I don't recommend going right by the garage for the cutscene to play out. Most of the times you probably won't have an issue with it, but I had an issue at least one time where my vehicle despawned because I let the cutscene play out, whatever, that puts me into the garage, whatever. So I do recommend being careful when it comes to driving to the garage, because it can despawn your vehicle if you let the cutscene play out while you're inside of it. It's probably not a very common issue, but it's a rare issue, I'm sure, with the mission, so do keep that in mind. And the strategy for this, I recommend shooting by the bottom left wheel. By the bottom left wheel is pretty much the typical vehicle weak spot in the game when it comes to blowing vehicles up. For those who don't know, you can actually blow up vehicles really easily by shooting around that spot for whatever reason. Not sure exactly why it's over there of all places. Maybe it's because that's where the fuel is or something like that, realistically, for most vehicles in the game. But yeah, regardless, that's kind of the strategy. 2 of them are kind of hard to hit without killing yourself though, so I would recommend taking a good look at my positioning and stuff like that for a couple of them. So you might have to shoot at kind of weird angles or kind of weird spots on a couple of them if you don't want to risk blowing yourself up, of course. But even on hard, you'll have a life to spare or whatever, so it's not necessarily the biggest issue. And right now it's on to the special vehicles here, which, yeah, the Ruiner 2000, obviously that one's vehicle weak spot is pretty typical. The Armored Boxville, I actually couldn't really find a vehicle weak spot, so that's kind of the only one that seems to not have much of a vehicle weak spot. If anyone knows the vehicle weak spot to the Armored Boxville, if there is one, I would be very interested to know, of course. But yeah, that's the one you'll probably have to shoot in front of the vehicle, like most people probably would do, of course. And yeah, obviously you can use explosives RPGs and stuff like that, but yeah, if you use RPGs and stuff like that, you're probably going to have to pay a lot of money to get the ammo back and stuff, which then obviously would kind of defeat the purpose of doing this contact mission if you had to pay almost as much as you would probably get in terms of money anyways. But yeah. Now let's see if there's any fun facts, trivia, stuff like that for this mission. But yeah, there's like Entity XXRs and then those 4 like special vehicles. Wastelander, Phantom Wedge, you obviously shoot them in like their fuel tanks, stuff like that. But yeah, the time of day for this mission is 3:16 apparently, so it stays that time for those who don't know. So if there are like certain like pre-modified vehicles that spawn around that time, you might want to consider getting garages full of them or whatever if you want to make a good bit of money through those, not just custom selling them. That's kind of a strategy you can do with like the time staying static in certain contact missions. I believe just about every mission actually in the Premium Deluxe Repo Works take place in a very specific amount of time. That actually does not like change or anything like that as the mission goes on. There's probably like one exception to that, but even then that one kind of has like a starting time, and then from there I believe it goes with like real time as well. Yeah, now to see if there's any more fun facts, trivia, stuff like that. There does not seem to be any, so I'll be going on to the next mission here. Before I go on to the next contact mission, since there's another like few to several seconds, there's not much point in jumping any further on the like video for the audio or anything like that at the moment. Then I forgot to mention, but the Deluxe I like kind of recommend for the mission, cause yeah, the enemies probably have pretty decent accuracy. I don't know if they have increased accuracy from typical NPCs. But yeah, there's quite enough like enemies to the point that I do not recommend Oppressor Mark II. But yeah, onto Sasquatch here. I recommend like your fastest point A to point B vehicle with like missiles, stuff like that. Except you might actually want more than 20 missiles. For example, Mark II Oppressor, regular Oppressor, those have like 20 missiles. I believe there's like around 30 vehicles in this mission, so you will want a vehicle with more than 20 missiles, most definitely. So again, you could easily go with the Deluxo here. Cause yeah, I believe you just have to enter the Sasquatch, and then you get the like vehicle locations, so you could exit out a Sasquatch easily to save a lot of time and then go in your typical point A to point B vehicle. I decided to just go with the Sasquatch because Sasquatch honestly just does not get a lot of attention in the game, aside for obviously the arena, where it's one of the vehicles that can be used and stuff like that. So I decided to go with the Sasquatch that was provided just because it's pretty interesting, of course, to be able to use the Sasquatch's like ability to go over vehicles and explode them, similar to in the arena. So as for the arena, I believe this is the only like case where it actually like gets to do that in like free mode or anything like that, kind of. This isn't technically free mode, it's kind of in another lobby, but still I think I made my point there. So yeah, obviously you can highly accelerate this mission compared to how long it's going to take on this video or whatever if you use a like good point A to point B vehicle with 30 plus missiles, I'd say at minimum. And yeah, there's actually 28 vehicles apparently, so you will want more than like an Oppressor Mark II. Then again, with the latest update, you can like respawn your vehicle, you can like return it or whatever, similar to the MC menu, how that had that feature for the longest time. Now you can do it as like CO or as nothing as well. That's definitely pretty nice. And time of day for this mission is apparently locked at exactly noon. I believe a lot of the Premium Deluxe Repo Works missions are locked at noon. But yeah, obviously strategy for this one, if you're going to use a Sasquatch, just pretty much blow up everything with the like suspension. It's high suspension, just run over it. I'm sure the Sasquatch will easily be able to take care of all of that. That might get very damaged at the end, for sure. There are going to be vehicles where you will have to get out of them. Oh, the Sasquatch, of course, since you wouldn't be able to really use the suspension, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, as I shown off in burn rate 4, you might as well just like shoot the typical vehicle weak spot as I shown off. So that's probably what you want to do for the ones that you have to get out of the Sasquatch for. And now to see if there's any more fun facts, trivia, stuff like that. But yeah, there's also like pariahs, going back to like the previous mission. That's the other like DLC mission. That's the other like DLC vehicle I have not mentioned yet. But yeah, for this one there's like Jester Classics in it, which is pretty cool. There's also Primo Customs as well in this particular mission. There's also DLC vehicles like the Deviant, the Tulip, and like the Flash GT. There's also like Shafter V12s in the Vanwood Garage section. So those are like a lot of the like DLC vehicles that make an appearance in this like mission. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to mention on this, honestly. So yeah, on to the next mission here.
visit my creepy silent friend. How can I help? Okay, so you're in serious trouble, and you need my help. Okay.
On to the next and final Premium Deluxe Repo Work that was released when the initial Repo Works were released on April 25th, 2019. Since for those who don't know, they were released within 3 different event weeks. They released 3 of them, then they released another 3 the week after, then I believe they released the last 2 the week after the second set of them. So yeah, for those who don't know, I'm going in order for a very particular reason. I'm going in alphabetical order and by when they were released. So after this will be the ones released the week after April 25th, 2019, whatever. So yeah, there is a big reason why I'm going over these in the order I am. But yeah, this one's under the hammer here. And under the hammer, I recommend the Armored Kuruma because you are going to go inside of an impound lot. And obviously, if you're on an Impressum or 2 or something like that, you're going to be shot pretty well, most likely. That might not be the biggest deal if you arrive in that. And yeah, I did a search and park job there because you can do a good climb into there and get right to one of the vehicles. That's kind of what I recommend there. I mainly recommend the Armored Kuruma if you get shot up a lot for any reason or anything. But yeah, that was either the Turismo Classic or the Infernus. Wait, that one's the Turismo Classic that I'm driving right now. The second vehicle is the Infernus Classic. And by the way, the amount of vehicles depends on your amount of players. So depending on your players, you might also have a Cheetah Classic and a Torero to steal as well. So yeah, the amount of vehicles have to be stolen depends on your number of players. For 1 and 2 players, I'm pretty sure it would just be the 2, obviously, and then 3 and 4, 3 and 4 for sure, I would imagine. And again, this mission, like the previous mission, takes place exactly at noon. So for getting certain pre-modified vehicle spawns, it could be very good for that because it will always stay at 12 o'clock. It won't even change a single second or anything, or minute in this game. But yeah, that's pretty much all there kind of is to know on this one. And by the way, with the police riots, you cannot open them up to get more armor. So the police riots are locked, so don't think you'll be able to get free armor from them or anything like that. But yeah. On to the next mission, we have the Evening Lift, which is the first of the Premium Deluxe Repo Works that was released on May 2nd, 2019. So the Evening Lift, as suggested by the title, has to use stealing the one helicopter in the game that allows you to lift vehicles into the air, which of course is the Cargo Bob. So yeah, Cargo Bob. You can of course use a personal version of the Cargo Bob as it's suggested on the screen right now. Or you can go to Backlot City, I believe is the location that Simeon recommends going to eventually. And I believe there's also other locations you can get the Cargo Bob at that are on different rooftops and stuff, which I don't believe involves combat or anything, but I believe these were the first Cargo Bobs I was able to find. So I decided to initiate with the combat, so you will have this extra sequence if you go over here, if you want to get more kills for RP and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of recommend stealing a Cargo Bob. I kind of feel it's a waste to call in a Cargo Bob for your one personal vehicle, because obviously if you do this, you won't have to recall whatever personal vehicle you were using before. Yeah, starting off with this mission, it actually starts and it only takes place during noon, so it's only at 12 o'clock for the entire contact mission. So again, most of the Premium Deluxe Repo Works, you can take advantage of the time frame it takes place in for certain pre-modified vehicles that appear on the streets and stuff. That's something you can definitely take advantage of in that case. But yeah, for DLC vehicles that appear on this mission, Car A is apparently either XA21 or an SC1. Car B is apparently either SC1 or a 190Z. Car C is either a 190Z or an XA21. And Car D is apparently always an SC1. And credit for Cargo Bob locations and the cars and what they can be, of course. Credit goes to GTA Wiki. But yeah, certain ones you might have an easier time, of course, not having to exit out of the Cargo Bob. Certain ones are in such a bad occasion that you're probably going to have to move the vehicle before you take them with the Cargo Bob. And yeah, it's very obvious that I recommend a personal vehicle Cargo Bob or your fastest point A to point B transport with missiles if you decide to go for the Cargo Bobs that I went for that are guarded by the people. But I do think there are ones on helipads and stuff in certain places that don't require combat if that's not really your thing to go for and stuff. I think those were just the ones that I first found and stuff. But yeah, strategies kind of depend on the vehicle and if they're close to a building or not, pretty much. But yeah, this mission, honestly, I feel I would probably recommend this mission for 2+ players, even though you can do it solo. Reason being, of course, is there are 4 different targets. So it's pretty much going to last a whole entire mission time. Which, yeah, there's not really much of anything wrong with it. Just, obviously, there's way better time that you can spend, of course, on different contact missions and stuff. This one's just really ridiculously long and stuff. And I believe this mission has really bad ratings and stuff, which is pretty hilarious. And yeah, not only I believe you have to take the vehicles on top of the Premium Deluxe Repo Works, I believe you also have to get out of the Cargo Bob and manually drive it, even if you put it on the exact spot. So yeah, it's a very tedious mission, probably not really worth all the time and stuff. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is really to mention about this. It's obviously just going point A to point B constantly with the Cargo Bob. But yeah, not necessarily a very good grinding mission in the game. Last but not least, for part 1 of the Premium Deluxe Repo Works part of Contact Mission content is the second of 3 missions. That was part of the second wave of Premium Deluxe Repo Work missions. GTA Today 2, which I believe is actually the final one, which is a like sequel of like a launch day or like a DLC Contact Mission. I believe the original GTA Today was like a 2 to 4 player mission and still is. From like the High Life update back from like the last gen versions of GTA Online, that is still playable on the current generation of systems. But yeah, the very infamous theme of that mission, of course, is the like 10 or 15-minute time limit. I believe that one might be like a 10-minute time limit or whatever. And by the way, that one's already been covered on the channel way back on like the first couple parts, whatever. But yeah, GTA Today 2 is essentially the same thing, but it's soloable as well, which is very interesting, which makes it a pretty fun speedrunning mission. If you want to challenge yourself to do a very difficult contact mission with a very tight, like, restrictive time limit and stuff, then this can be a quite fun contact mission, no doubt. But yeah, the first vehicle apparently will be a Sentinel Classic. That's pretty much in like an alleyway in Chamberlain Hills. I believe there's like 2 possible spawns for it, but both are almost in the exact same location. And by the way, for the initial set of vehicles, you either have to steal 2, 3, or 4. It's 2 for 1 or 2 players, 3 players. There's a 3rd vehicle added for both waves of vehicles, it sounds like, according to GTA Wiki. And 4 players, obviously 4 vehicles. So that's how this mission works. And for time, I believe it does start at noon or something, but it does kind of take place in real time. So this isn't really a good mission for going for certain like pre-modified vehicles, like a lot of the different like Simeon Deluxe, Premium Deluxe Repo Work missions are. This one kind of takes place at that time, but from that time it does take place in like real time or whatever in game, of course. But yeah, car B is an alley apparently between some buildings in Palomino Avenue, Little Seoul. And that one, I believe, is the only one with only one possible location, at least for the first wave of vehicles. But yeah. For vehicle transport, I recommend either the Oppressor or the Oppressor Mark II. I believe the regular and Mark II oppressors are honestly basically going to be the best like possible options. Things like the Scramjet, Vigilante, yeah, those have boosts, and I know Scramjet can jump and stuff, but yeah. It's nowhere near as controllable, I'd say, in the air as like the oppressors are for the Scramjet. And Vigilante can't really jump with that one. And like the new Tour or whatever, that, while it can go in water, it can possibly have some advantages. I don't really feel that would help in this case. So really, I feel the oppressors are kind of the only really good options. At least if you're playing it solo, possibly even 2 players. Honestly, probably, like, regardless of the players, I'd probably recommend one of those 2 vehicles. And I believe I got similar results when completing it with the Mark I and Mark II oppressor. For time, I believe the time was very similar. In fact, I think the Mark II might be slightly better with the mission than the regular oppressor when it comes to transport kind of means, of course. I believe I saved like 20, 30 seconds. Like I had that much more time, I believe, compared to the original oppressor. That run's not in this at all. It was just a like practice run, whatever. Only reason I went the regular oppressor over to Mark II is because the regular oppressor is not really useful in much contact missions anyways. So I wanted to use it for something in the series, since obviously Mark II has a lot better like missiles and stuff like that. So just to make it a bit different, I wanted to use the regular oppressor. Okay, on screen right now is with the LE, of course. And I'll probably just go over the rest of the vehicles now, because it's not really much more to talk about for this contact mission. So car C, if you're playing with at least 3 players, I believe it's a swinger or whatever, parked in an alleyway in Rockford Hills. Or apparently it's in Tulga Drive as another location. It's not guarded apparently whatsoever, unlike cars A and B. That one's apparently not guarded whatsoever. So again, it's probably only with 3 and even 4 players. And yeah, car D for the first wave is an LG Retro Custom, which you should only really encounter with 4 players. Also has 2 possible locations. Either parked in an underground car park in Pillbox Hill, accessed from either Las Laguanas, whatever, Boulevard or Alta Street, or also in like a car park in Alta Street, Pillbox Hill. That's like the other location. Apparently it doesn't seem that's guarded regardless, it seems. So if you are playing with 3 and 4 players, you don't really have to deal with like extra enemies, it seems like, for the first wave at least. And yeah, after you deliver the first 2 3 to 4, there will be another like 2 3 to 4 depending on your player setup as well. That should be seen on the screen pretty soon. So I'll be talking about those vehicles as well. But yeah, car A for like wave 2 apparently seems to be an alley located atop a multi-story car park in Del Perro. I believe that one's kind of a pretty easy one to steal. But yeah, I think law enforcement starts getting involved with like wave 2 or whatever. So you might have to deal with like 1 levels and stuff. I believe at least with the swinger, I believe the alley one's just guarded by like typical like NPCs, I believe. I don't really remember that one being guarded by anyone necessarily, and that's not much of a threat. But yeah, car B is apparently a swinger in an impound garage at Mission Row Police Station. So yeah, that one's kind of in the interior, so you might want to watch out for like police and like cops and all that on that one, of course. I believe you're probably going to end up getting a 1 level on that one, even if you do like ignore the cops. But yeah, car C is a LG Retro Custom, similar to car D in the first wave if you're playing with 4 players. Which that one again you should only get for like 3 to 4 players for wave 2 of the vehicles. But yeah, 2 possible locations on the LG Retro Custom apparently. Unlike A and B of wave 2, that one has 2 possible locations. Both of them is actually in Vespucci Canals, either on Invention Court or Prosperity Street. But I believe I kind of went out of order on the gameplay here, because obviously the swinger was closer than the alley. So I figured I might as well go there anyways. But yeah, it doesn't necessarily sound like the police are involved with car C for those playing with 3 or 4 players. And apparently car D is a Sentinel Classic again, similar to car A from the first wave. But yeah, car D is parked in a car park on Carcer Way, Burton, under Rockford Plaza Shopping Center. And all the credits for the locations for the different like vehicles goes to GTA Wiki. And by the way, going back to the previous mission for a moment, I don't think I specified like you can find certain ones out like Fort Cudo and stuff. I said like on helipads and stuff like that. But I didn't necessarily go into any specifics because there was a lot of different possible spawns and stuff. So if you want to know like a bunch of different locations, not having to go to Backlog City and beating enemies, going back to the previous mission again, by the way, I'd probably refer to GTA Wiki going on like the Do You Even Left page. I'd probably look into that. If you want a slightly easier time on that one, again going back to the previous mission. But yeah, that is finally gonna be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed.
got the last of the nasty turtle figures from Thor Toys. It's a collector's item. Now I have the whole set.
Hey there. What can I help? Give me a call back when simple decisions don't freak you out so much.